minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Laska Hirlach, and thanks for coming here today, Minister. I want to discuss with you the Dart plus West upgrade. This is an extremely positive and essential project, electrification of the line, an upgrade to Dart from town to Maynooth, serving places like Ashtown and Kilmine and Castleknock, at Clonsilla and Hansfield. Capacity will increase, frequency will increase from 6 to 12 trains per hour per direction. Of course, it sets us up as a sustainable city for housing development and economic development. And of course, there's the cost of congestion that we see, the time lost to the economy per annum is 350 million, and by 2033 that could be 2,000 million. And we saw the reports last week about potential delays to Metrolink and Dart Plus, and I'm seeking reassurance today that those projects that Dart Plus West is going to go ahead as scheduled, that we were looking at capacity and frequency upgrades in 2025 to 2027, and I think that is really important. Progress isn't always straightforward, and with this we are dealing with the closure of level crossings, and they say in the report that they are essential, but that is it's very difficult for communities, obviously, when they're looking at potentially parts of their community being cut off by the closure of the level crossings, or infrastructure. Big infrastructure coming into the area and having an impact. So it does have to be handled sensitively and transparently. The first public consultation was held last year, from the 26th of August to the 21st of October. And that was in the middle of level 2 and level 3 restrictions. And only one of the areas that I engaged with really mobilised as a community around those proposals, because awareness of them was low, and of course they couldn't engage with each other. And they did so under a cloud of stress. And I really felt that of all the consultations that I've been engaged with, this was the one that I felt that people were most stressed about, because they weren't allowed to meet up. They weren't allowed to knock on doors, and the awareness from the leaflet wasn't very detailed, and the devil is in the detail. How do you mobilise a team around this sort of thing? They did, that particular community did, and two options were added to the next to post the consultation, and that shows the importance of two-way engagement. So I was hoping that as part of PC2 that we would take that on board, how important two-way engagement is. But unfortunately, this consultation was launched during the summer months. It started on the 27th of July. It was going to end at the beginning of September. Now they've pushed it out to the 29th of September, but only by causing a lot of fuss. And the people that I suppose wouldn't be as involved in previous consultations may not have known that it was likely that it was going to be pushed out, because we have seen it before. We're only back. Today is my first day and my first opportunity to raise this. They're relying on people who own businesses in the area to do it, like Ashtown Stables. So this is a community that is just really getting to grips with the changes that are being proposed. And at a public consultation meeting that was arranged last week, they were muted. So there was no facility for engagement apart from chat. And I cannot tell you how that made people feel. So here we have lots of people that can't use the internet to access information, and they can't meet up in the way that they're used to. And they were, over the summer holidays was the consultation, and now for the second extended consultation, they were muted. So I value your thoughts on that.
Thank you, Senator Currie. Minister.
And I thank the Senator on behalf of my colleague, the Minister for Transport, for the opportunity to address this issue in the House today. The DART Plus programme will transform rail services in the Greater Dublin area. It will double capacity and introduce DART level all-day services across the network, stretching from Drogheda in the north to Maynooth and Hazelhatch in the west, with improvements planned on the coastal line too. It's important to note that the overall DART Plus programme is made up of a number of different projects, each moving at different speeds and at different stages of development. There are actually 5 major projects: DART Plus West, DART Plus South West, DART Plus Coastal North, Coastal South and DART Plus Fleet. And of those various projects, DART Plus West and DART Plus Fleet are the most advanced. There are 2 key impending milestones. Firstly, there is government's approval of the preliminary business case, and secondly, there is the submission of a railway order application in respect of DART Plus West. On that first milestone, I understand that the Department of Transport has received a preliminary business case, and that preliminary business case is under review as required by the Public Spending Code. For major projects like DART Plus, the Public Spending Code requires a government decision, and the Minister for Transport expects to bring the matter to government for its decision in Q4. If approved by government, that will allow the contracts to be signed in relation to DART Plus Fleet, and will also allow DART Plus West to move into the statutory planning system, subject to the completion of the necessary planning and environmental documentation. The second impending milestone is the submission of the railway order application. As I've mentioned, that application requires the finalisation of an extensive set of documentation, including environmental impact assessment reports, and that work is ongoing. In addition, Éireann Road Éireann has been engaging with communities and stakeholders as part of the non-statutory public consultation process to better inform the development of DART Plus West. Issues raised during this consultation process need to be fully considered by the company and appropriately addressed, and this can take some time to complete. Following the first non-statutory consultation process of the emerging preferred route, Éireann Road Éireann used feedback received from citizens and public representatives to inform the design process for the preferred option, which is currently subject to another round of public consultation. I do understand that there have been particular issues raised as part of this round of public consultation, which will require further consideration by Éireann Road Éireann before it will be ready to finalise its railway order. I'm informed that the public consultation process is continuing to the end of this month, and after that I have no doubt that Éireann Road Éireann will reflect on the issues raised and consider an appropriate response. These consultation processes have been held online, as obviously we have all had to adjust to the COVID restrictions imposed upon society over the last 18 months or so. There are those, including yourself, who say online consultation is no substitute for in-person events, and you may well have a point. However, the alternative would have been to postpone all progress on the project, and I don't think people were advocating that. I will say, however, I will bring back your specific point in relation to the lack of ability to interact fully on the online forums. I'll bring that directly back to the Minister. Obviously, once a railway order application is made, then there will of course be further opportunities for citizens, public representatives and stakeholders to make their views known during the statutory planning process. Projects like DART Plus are transformative because of the change they will introduce to our lives, and I can assure the Senator that this Government believes in properly and positively communicating that change to citizens and communities, and I would encourage everyone to participate fully in these consultation processes and in the later railway order process.
Thank you, Minister. I think this is about having confidence in the process, and I agree that the restrictions meant that changes had to be made to the process, and Irish Rail did show that they were listening to the concerns of Coolmine after the PC1, although that hasn't solved all the problems, but it's got us to this point. But this is serious. You know, people don't just want to know that you have listened. They want to know that you're listening. And if you have a visible mute, you're muted in a meeting where there should be engagement, that gives out all the wrong messages. The cost of making a submission in the railway order is also €50. So if this goes through in the planning application as part of the railway order, the community has to pay €50 for a submission, and that's a huge amount of money. So right now it's the community that are leading this. People like Ashtown Stables, Navan Community Council, it was the community of Coolmine. It's too much pressure at a stressful point in everyone's lives, coming through COVID, during COVID and now after COVID. I think the best thing to do would be to extend this by another month, engage with them properly, and if it's possible to do something like Bus Connects, where they can have a room where people can visit under COVID restrictions who are fully vaccinated, manage the numbers, that might be a way to gain back confidence from this community. Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you, Senator, and I think we can all agree as to the importance of DART Plus and the importance of improved and expanded public transport generally. DART Plus represents the largest ever investment in our rail infrastructure and services, and the Minister for Transport will soon bring a memorandum to Government seeking approval for that programme to enable it to move forward to the next decision gate under the Public Spending Code. This will be a hugely significant step forward. Excuse me. And along with DART Plus Fleet, DART Plus West is the most advanced element of the programme, and the Minister will be seeking Government approval for it to enter the planning system. DART Plus West is fundamentally important to the overall programme and is the key enabler of the rest of DART Plus. This is why I ask all interested parties to engage with the ongoing public consultation process to inform and be informed as regards to the preferred option. Once this current public consultation process is over, Éireann Road Éireann will consider the views expressed by citizens and public representatives before it finalises its railway order application. With DART Plus Fleet at an advanced stage, the progression of DART Plus West ongoing, the benefits of the overall programme, particularly as regards the capacity and availability of DART services, will soon be evident to all. In advance of that Maynooth line, train users will start to benefit from 2023 onward from the arrival of new carriages to the existing fleet, which will also be warmly welcomed by residents in the area. I very much look forward to seeing DART Plus programme progress in the coming years, as much as I'm sure the Minister does, and especially the Senator does, with regard to the development and progressing of DART Plus West. And I'll bring your specific request in relation to public consultation directly to the Minister as well on this.